Missed opportunity number one, Marvel.
When you're strange, faces come out of the rain.
Today on Readus Reviews, I review Doctor Strange, the newest movie from Marvel Studios and the second installment in Phase 3 of the MCU. And the story basically goes as you expected. Dr. Stephen Strange is a brilliant neurosurgeon with just a touch of arrogance that gets into a car crash that basically ruins his hands. Willing to put everything on the line in order to get his hands back, he goes to Kathmandu and finds the Ancient One, a powerful sorcerer that introduces Stephen to the multiverse and the mystic arts. And over the course of his training, he stumbles upon a madman who wants to destroy the world. You know, like you do. So we're going to deviate from the usual order I have when I make reviews and talk about the characters first. Starting with Stephen Strange, played by Benedict Cumberbatch. It's exactly how you would think about Stephen Strange, played by Benedict Cumberbatch. All the time I was watching him on screen, I wasn't thinking this is Sherlock, this is Benedict Cumberbatch. No, I was thinking this is Stephen Strange. Like I said in videos past, he wasn't my first pick, but he definitely fit for what they were going for in the movie, and he worked for me. With that being said, I wasn't at all surprised that he was going to bring a stellar performance. I kind of knew that was going to happen. What I was surprised, though, was Stephen Strange's relationship with Baron Mordo over the course of the movie. I thought it was pretty well done over the course of the movie, and it made me think that this is probably how the relationship between Hal Jordan and Sinestro was during their training day days. With that being said, you can tell that Strange and Baron's relationship was placed more on a high pedestal than Strange and Wong's. I feel that because the film really wanted you to pay attention to their partnership. The partnership that was established between Stephen and Wong that was in the comics really suffered in this movie. And as a result, getting to know Wong better as a character. They try to recuperate it in the end, but at the time, there's just been too much focus between Mordo and Strange to the point where it's like, the damage is done, you fucked up. Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One was okay. Honestly, from how the movie played out, you could have casted anybody as the Ancient One. She was definitely fun to watch when it came to the fight scenes and everything, but as far as character and performance, I don't think she put anything new to the table. Or at least gave anything in her performance to make us feel like she was more than just like the Obi-Wan type character for the movie. Which kind of segues into one of the main problems I had with Doctor Strange and how things were restructured from the comic into the movie in order to fit the Phase 3 initiative. The one in question being the role of the Sorcerer Supreme. It's a problem for me because we only get like 1 or 2 lines regarding the Sorcerer Supreme, and not necessarily enough context as to how the Sorcerer Supreme works in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as opposed to his comic book counterpart. Mostly due to another change that happened in the movie that I don't necessarily agree with, the Eye of Agamotto. They completely changed the function of the Eye of Agamotto in order to fit the Infinity War storyline, and as a result, the lore of Agamotto himself. In which all my Doctor Strange heads out there would know that there is a definite link between the Eye of Agamotto and the Sorcerer Supreme. But because they severed that link and made the Eye of Agamotto something completely new in order to fit the Infinity Gem situation, it leaves a lot of questions regarding how the Sorcerer Supreme works in the MCU and how they're picked. Which would have been a very interesting plot device to further explore in an eventual Doctor Strange sequel, if certain events in this movie didn't happen. But because certain events did happen, the plot line is either going to be completely forgot and be an open plot hole, or the eventual writer of Doctor Strange 2 will probably just Deus Ex Machina the shit, and we just won't get an acceptable answer regarding it. But if you take away that change to the Eye of Agamotto and the overall plot hole regarding the Sorcerer Supreme regarding the rest of the story, it was a typical superhero origin story. But the most important part about it is, it's a typical superhero origin story that has actual magic. And no, I'm not talking about the pseudoscience bullshit that they just generalized Thor in. I mean, the movie explains that actual magic exists in the MCU. I like the way it looked, I like the way it was conjured, I like the fact that the wielder had to use proper practice and concentration in order to actually wield it. So all in all, Doctor Strange was a decent film, but it had its problems. Mostly due to the fact that they didn't know how to write certain characters because they didn't want to seem overly racist like the past comics. They kind of rushed certain comic-based storylines that were introduced in this movie that kind of fell flat because they had to change a lot of the things in order for the film to fit the initial tone of Phase 3. And basically just put more concentration on future sequels as opposed to making this story the best story you can tell with the parameters of the current state of the MCU. So with that being said, even though I thought the movie was good, I don't recommend paying $10+ to see this in the movie theater. And if my OCD wasn't a factor in getting all the MCU movies on Blu-ray, I'd say it's a DVD purchase / rental for me. But I will admit I definitely put this movie in higher regards than I do Civil War. Take that how you will. So readers, your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comments section below your opinions of Doctor Strange if you've seen the movie. Also, if you've seen the movie, write in the comments section whether or not you agree or disagree with how I feel about the changes that they made to the initial lore of Doctor Strange to fit the MCU. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for when I post new videos, because I post every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.